Zabui, Deputy Organizing Secretary, ODM, and also aspiring women representative for Kisumu County. Good morning, ladies. Karibuni sana. Now, of course, the headlines this morning, we do not really have to debate on what to start with, because across all dailies, across all news platforms, including Citizen TV and citizentv.co.ke, it's all about Josephine Kabura and what happened yesterday. What that means is that the revelations yesterday, her appearance before the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee, has managed to somewhat cover whatever was happening at the Ministry of Health, at least for a day. We do not know what will happen today, because now she's grabbed all headlines. And from my end, probably it's a frustration at seeing how long such cases do take. The NYS scandal was revealed last year, towards the end of last year. This is towards the end of 2016. We are still experiencing it as if it's a new thing. And yesterday people got the feeling like NYS scandal just happened yesterday.
Yeah. First of all, Fred, I feel embarrassed that it's women at the center of this scandal. Embarrassed because this is the time that we are grappling with the 2/3 gender rule, and the country is actually looking at opportunities to propel women and give women a near equal opportunity as men. And when women get into positions of power, if this is what they are going to do, then we are losing the war on elevating women. But I also want to say that I watched this yesterday. I felt sorry for this lady, because I think she was at the center of it. She was used, but she must take full responsibility for allowing herself to be used. I know I'm a woman. I know that I've been on the forefront for women empowerment, but I will say this straight and clear, that if, and I'm not saying that she's guilty, but I'm saying that if Anne Waiguru will be allowed to contest as a governor in this country, then we've lost the war on Chapter 6. We've lost the war that the Constitution hoped to give Kenya a better country, and it would just not be right. I'm not saying she's guilty. She deserves to be heard. She deserves to be given an opportunity to explain herself. But by the look of things, she was at the center of it all, and she should not be entrusted to be a governor holding money for the country in the devolution process. Yes,
of course, Anne Waiguru is among the at least 7 suspects who've been mentioned in this matter. But the frustration again, because by now we should have determined who is or is in the wrong. We saw the kind of frustration that MPs had yesterday.
Yes.
And the Public Accounts Committee, this matter is already before the courts, surely. Coming from a place where the President said, I've done everything and there's nothing else I can do. Seeing the frustration in members of the National Assembly yesterday, where does it leave us?
That is the most unfortunate thing, and that's why I've always said this issue of stealing, because I don't want us to use this nice words, corruption and stealing, that Kenyans have just decided we can just steal, wake up in the morning, decide I will be so and so, and you become, because you are stealing. And unfortunate is, even our own who supports us do not see the stealing. I mean, in fact, they will clap for the stealers, and they will feel those are the ones now who are supposed to be even taking charge of the institutions we are talking about. But after seeing Kabura, this girl, oh God, help us in Kenya, this girl, that she sits when she knows very well we are also using impressed government tax money now to question another probe of money that was stolen, and then she talks the way she talked, and then she laughs. Oh Jesus. You know, I looked at this girl and I asked myself, what are these members doing with this girl? Because I think if I was in that committee, I would have either walked out or just take this girl to jail. And then the next question comes in, Fred. Then what is the court investigating? Because everything is coming out. What is the court investigating? And I think where we really went wrong, and thank God Rose is not a lawyer, we are not lawyers now here, is when the lawyers finished this constitution of ours that we call a new constitution, they realized they have just created jobs. One job and another, because it is the same lawyers who are protecting Kabura, Is the same lawyer who protected the other one, who has protected. Can the lawyers now appreciate that Kenyans, we are fed up?
But
you
once we are fed
don't
up,
need to go to court when a case is so clear that this is a case, people have to go to jail.
We are clearly fed up as Kenyans, yes. But surely we've seen this happen over and over again. Goldenberg, Anglo Leasing, now NYS, Ministry of Health, no conviction. Years later, no conviction.
You know, the most unfortunate thing, Fred,
thing is that no one is
I'm
going
sorry
to
to cut
be
you.
jailed.
The most unfortunate thing, it is only at one point in the Ministry of Tourism, if you remember Namutola, who only has bared the burden of knowing mismanagement is wrong.
But Fred, I must just say this. I was just telling my friend that this government needs to resign. You cannot wake up every single day and there's drought and people are dying, and all that is being revealed are new cases of such massive corruption. And the president having put up his hands in the air to say that he's helpless. So what are we doing?
Yes. But
I want to tell I want to tell my friend Rosa, if we are here, a few of us who want to say the truth to Kenyans and save our country, then I don't think it's about resigning, because the monkeys are the same. Their fathers started the policy of saying we can do business with government. Both of them, both sides, across the board, whether you're in ODM, whether you're in Jubilee, if you have worked, and I've always said that, if you have been in our government for 30 to 40 years, then you have no business telling us that you have a moral right to stand and prove to Kenyans. Let me just finish first. To Kenyans that you are clean. I have always said, appreciate first, you did wrong. Then tell Kenyans, after I have done wrong, I am willing to move Kenya to a next level. But I'm not going also to allow myself one day to sit with a son or a daughter of whom I know the father is a proceeds of Goldenberg, is a proceeds of Anglo Leasing, and then you come here and tell us you want to now discuss corruption when you went to school with money of corruption?
One question. Are you therefore saying that there is general inability to fight corruption from across the political divide, from Jubilee and CORD?
No.
Because let me say this. And they were in power just a few years ago. You know some of these things, and we need to thank God that now you are able to give us even airtime to come and ventilate and talk about it. Do you know there were days you could not talk? You could not even put this headline, and they were there in government, and because they were both buttering their breads, nobody will speak to the other.
There's general inability across the political divide. Even CORD cannot fight corruption.
You see what she's talking about, that we are able to talk. Is that what all that we want to do? Able to talk? And what this government has been doing is just talking about corruption and what it's doing about corruption. But we've actually seen nothing being done, no initiative from this government. The president comes up and says that he went to parliament and read names. That was part of talking. Is that all that can be done about corruption? But because Kenyans are seeing that laxity, and Kenyans are seeing that it doesn't matter, when you steal, nothing happens to you. And you can be in the courts for so long, so everybody is being encouraged to steal.
So let me ask Rosa.
No, I want to say this.
Okay.
We must see a concerted effort from this government, because they have the mandate, the official mandate, to charter this country into a way that we will not be talking about corruption as Kenyans are dying. The mandate is with them, and you must take that mantle.
Fine.
As we wrap
the
up
mandate, and I have
matter.
agreed the mandate is with us. But at the same time, does the president now become the judge? Is that what Rosa wants to tell us?
He is the head of mission.
It doesn't matter, Rosa. Because, let me give you this example. The president comes into his own ministry, removes the procurement team, the whole. What do? You go to court, and you're given a court order to go back to your work. Now, that is why I'm saying, if we start blaming each other, the president has this and this, we need to sit down, the three arms of government, because even parliament is with this. Because when they're giving a supplementary budget, why can't you question in your supplementary budget, why do you need this money? I remember one time, I questioned Mutava Musyimi when we were doing a mediation on this NYS thing. And we were very bitter. And I told him, do you really believe we have to give again? And what? That time, they had not even exploded. But you know, the way you just feel and you see, this is a ministry already with a lot of money. Why are you adding? And he insisted. And we had to, now it became a Senate National Assembly issue.
You are adding because you have Eurobond money that has to be channeled through ministries that are favorable to this leasing.
Ladies, we have to move on. And the other headline on the Standard is about Afia House barons get a date with EACC. The same EACC that you're complaining that is a toothless, that has done nothing, that no one even wants to chair. Now, is that the Afia House scandal? Is that the solution for us now?
Well, the most interesting thing with Afia House is that when you go there, the yesterday, those who used to tender 20 years ago are the same guys who still tender there. And I don't know why they have not brought in young people, new people, who can get a few of these things, so that you are able, because if we bring a list, you know, the good thing with our systems also, it shows very well anybody who has gotten a tender beyond $1 million plus, they are always gazetted, or 5 million. You will see. You come here, you will find this craziness of Kabura in all these ministries. That the person who tendered in NYS is the same person who we are going to talk about in health, is the same people you will find in agriculture. It's like a revolving...
And what does it say about the president's policy about awarding women and the youth at least 30% of government tenders? Because we are not seeing that. And even the women who are getting these tenders...
they've done it deliberately. Women are given 1,500,000. The men are the ones who go for, are given.
I don't think that's true. It depends on which woman you are. This is the policy of this government. The 30% was a good thing. Because it was supposed to be affirmative action to uplift people who are underprivileged. But it is being taken advantage of. When the president's relatives, surely those cannot fall under the category of underprivileged.
Why?
Given they are women. They are not underprivileged.
They are women.
No. I think, let us look at the spirit of this.
It's like saying...
I don't know, give me an opportunity, I give you a chance. It does not mean, for example, Rosa, you cannot call me underprivileged in this society. Almost 70% of women behind me are underprivileged. I have the opportunity to be where I am today. When there's a tender, we can apply as women, but the spirit of that policy is to uplift those who are not as privileged as me, Rosa. We are all women. But it should also uplift and bring up those women who've not been in a position to have this sort of access. When you then give it to the president's sister, and you give it to the president's cousin, 41 million, surely is that the spirit? I'm not saying it's legally wrong, but it is morally wrong. What happened to the... These are the president is a state officer.
I don't want to go that route. Then you'll tell me why Gideon Moore is doing business in our country. You know. I don't want to...
not saying that should do business, but under this policy...
Listen first, Rosa. You've just said 41 million. The others are doing billions because they do pipelines, they do power. I mean, let's not go that route, because then we are saying today, now, is when we understand the children of those who have been presidents and privileged, their fathers privileged. Yes, I'm going to that. But I don't want to use that 30% say, because these are women now, is when. And the boys, who are the boys of the rich, are able to do it. No. All I'm saying, have you scrutinized and asked yourself, are they able to allow those disadvantaged to compete fairly? Not just in this tender, but in many others. That one I will arise with it, but I don't want to arise in a debate where I'm now putting women as victims here, and the men are allowed.
No. We're talking about 30%, and 30% is about the women.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's move on to another interesting topic away from corruption, because I know this one will continue and no one.
And the other thing is, we have 30%, but also women are allowed to go for the bigger ones. They did not say,
but these ones fell under 30%, under special. Surely you're going to call the president's sister fall under special.
I'm sorry,
it is morally wrong.
Because Gideon and all are doing business.
And they're Kenyans and they're allowed. But this is morally wrong.
But they are children of that president who also stole in this country.
Let's be civil about this. Let's move on from that discussion. Of course, it's a very heated discussion, I do understand. Because even look at the headlines, and it's not a topic that we can escape from. And this discussion will definitely continue throughout the day and throughout this week. Hopefully we'll get a solution at some point in time.
When CORD comes into power, there will be a solution.
The solution
Let's discuss now
because
CORD,
even this
CORD.
proceeds, I have said business in this country does not look at parties.
Yes.
If you analyze, you'll find both sides are beneficiaries of billions of shillings in this country.
Yes.
If you analyze, you'll find those in CORD with Spectra International, they are doing business with government.
Let's now talk about the party politics.
Don't tell me that.
Let's talk about party politics away from corruption, of course. Now that you brought up the parties, now Jubilee Party is naming its officials this Friday. Hopefully, they've organized for a National Governing Council meeting at Bomas of Kenya, only days after ODM held a similar meeting at the same venue. Now, of course, what is expected is that they'll be unveiling names, probably to help end the power struggle within the party. Is that what you're expecting? Because we understand previously on the list that never came to be, you were proposed as one of those party officials.
Well, you know, Fred.
Yeah.
I am aspiring to be a member of Parliament of Dagoretti North. I don't think I'll be on the list.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And which is okay, because I have to do one. There are many people to do other jobs. All I want to tell Jubilee now, my Jubilee Party, that I hope indeed on Friday we are doing what they are saying, because it is very long when you leave a vacuum in between. And
so
people,
you admit that there's been a vacuum?
Yes, that one I'll admit so well, because you leave people hanging and then now they are suffering in their regions because of this. So let us finish, and from that meeting, then let us now go to the county. Let us not just finish again this and then sit and
probably
wait.
to help us understand, because we know the Jubilee Party is fairly new and it doesn't have many structures, because even the interim officials that are there are from the Jubilee Alliance Party. So when you talk about the National Governing Council, what are we talking about?
Yes, we are talking about,
Fred,
the structure is very clear. And what we agreed and what is at the Register of Political Parties is that all the officials that were in the different parties that folded up come in and take over to until you go to the counties, have your meetings, is when now you come up with a grassroots, proper grassroots structure that comes back to the top.
So the people we are hoping to see at
and within
this Friday
they are just picked.
Previous party officials.
Previous party officials. They are not picked.
Not governors,
not governors, not what. And the other thing that is very important, our Constitution allowed very clearly that counties will be more powerful than at the national level, so that people can decide really who will be their party chairman at the county level.
But my understanding is that you have to hold elections at the county level.
Yes, Fred. Yes, we have to hold.
For this one, at least for
this
matters
is just
of clarity,
for voting for.
It will be party leaders, including people like Alem Mendile.
Yes, all of us, all of us, all of us, all of us. Yes.
Fred, don't talk about elections in Jubilee, and don't even wait for it. From history, they never hold elections within their party. So don't wait for it.
Okay.
And I want to say this. If you have a government that cannot set the agenda of the day, that government has no business being in power. Look at what's happening. ODM sets the agenda. We have our governing council. Jubilee wakes up. Oh, we must have a national governing. Heck. You cannot have a government that cannot set the agenda of the day.
Do you accept that Rosa
is just trying to push me. Let me tell you one thing, Rosa.
No, wait.
When we set our agenda to unveil the new party, what did they do?
No.
They went and set a quick agenda of their own.
We were not unveiling a party to follow you.
Forgetting that they also have members who are wondering, are we now left as different parties or are we still CORD? You know, they go to Mombasa and do something where even their own system just fails them, and then they come here and tell me that we are not following them.
Give me an opportunity to
No.
You've already had your chance to say your point.
We have no time to follow you guys.
So what I'm saying,
we need to look at the other headline about ODM.
and what we will look at ODM.
Yes.
So what I'm saying about this, remember when we tried to have an election in 2012, and ODM is the only party in this country that is bold enough to try to
have
exercise.
black men.
No, it doesn't
Come
matter.
and,
If that's
just
part of
destroy
the
everything.
attempt to actually democratize its process, it is only ODM. So we tried to have an election in 2012, and unfortunately it didn't go through. So ODM, according to our constitution, had the opportunity to sit around the table and come up with a consensus team to lead the party as we plan for the next election. Who was the first person to speak against that? Duale. What did Duale say? How can you cobble up officials? What are they doing now? Going to cobble officials who are really non-existent to call them National Governing Council?
What I don't understand is when 2012 they went, yet it was just after the elections that you were doing this. Not 2012, 14. Just recently when they were trying to do it, which they didn't manage.
Yes, you did not manage to have proper elections.
But we tried.
And that, yes.
And in their own counties, people died because of just
ladies.
Democracy is a very expensive exercise. You guys be bold enough. Democracy is expensive.
So people have to die.
About the ODM rebels now.
Good.
And that failed election is being quoted by some of these people who have been expelled. Because, for example, nominated MP Isaac Mwaura is claiming that that disciplinary committee is not properly constituted because there were no elections. And they're using that to actually challenge the expulsion from the party.
Now, what Isaac doesn't know, and this actually makes me feel that he was never a true ODM member. What he doesn't know is that members of the disciplinary committee are not party officials in terms of being members of National Executive Committee. Those are not part of National Executive Committee. They are appointed, they are a party organ appointed by the party.
Not necessarily elected.
No, they are appointed, they are not elected. Elected officials are the NEC officials. So if I even heard him talk about it on TV, that elections never took place. So who are these? Who put them in office? How were they elected? These are party organs or party units that are appointed and not elected. So he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Of course, ODM has already written to the registrar of political parties to delist these members from the party list, and also written to IEBC to declare the rebels, the seats of these people who have been expelled, vacant. Do we think realistically that we can actually have by-elections before the next elections?
You know, ODM is not the mandate is not on ODM to call for party elections. I mean, for by-elections. That mandate lies with IEBC and other organs in the country. What ODM has done is looked at the misbehavior of its members. And ODM has decided, this is our policy. This is what our members should actually propagate. But our members, most of them have come out openly to say they are not members of ODM, and they've joined other parties. So ODM has just done what is right according to its constitution. What happens with all those, let Lucy, the political party's lady, take charge of that. Let the courts, whatever it is, but ODM has acted according to its constitution and expelled these members who have chosen to join other parties. And I
Senator, you must agree, as the majority whip in the Senate, you must agree that what ODM is doing probably is could help parties, that you should still have the power to discipline errant party members.
It will.
Well, one, there are many ways of disciplining a member. If ODM feels that vengeance is how you deal with their members, that's up to them. But I think within the party there are many ways. One of the ways was de-whip them from all the committees,
which ODM has done,
and let them be. But
we're seeing that even being challenged in Parliament, because Aden Duale and
challenged by Jubilee, which is never bold to do anything.
No, but even in Jubilee we've disciplined many, even in the counties. So I don't think it, and we don't need to interfere with what a party is doing in terms of their constitution.
So you do not agree that that a National Assembly should change the standing order so that parties are not able to de-whip their members from committees of the House?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Really, it will be very long, because every party has its own constitution. But what I will tell ODM also, these are not just members who is one. Don't forget, these are members who also have their supporters in their constituencies. Therefore, you need to ask yourself, there are some things, and that's why we say in politics, we have to have a win-win situation in everything. And there's no enmity in politics anyway, because it is the interest of why you are within that party at that time. But the other thing Lucy should do, and let us not make it an issue where we say now, just leave it to Lucy. No.
We're talking about Lucy Ndungu.
I know, we are talking about Lucy Ndungu, but I want to tell ODM, since you are going to an election in 2017, I mean, if I was ODM, I'd whip them from the committees, let them be, and let them be punished when we come to the main election.
Let me just say,
Ladies,
because now I must say this.
we need to wrap
Wait
up
first,
this time.
just let me say this as my last. Okay, I want
I'm
to
giving
say
you a chance.
this.
Okay, now I'm giving you a chance to give your final comments because
I
you have to
will
leave.
give my final
Starting
comments, and my final comment is, Beatrice, I hate it when you talk like that. The reason why I hate it is you are not after bettering this country. Listen to yourself saying that it is election time. These people have supporters, so ODM should have pussyfooted and not done what they did, because this is the mindset of Jubilee. Everything they do is for that election and not bettering this country. And that is why they are more caught up in the process of that election instead of making the country better. And this is the sort of attitude you have, even when you're dealing with corruption and things like that. You are scared to act, you're not bold enough to do the right thing because you are thinking of the election. ODM had already given these people a chance. Called them for a meeting, had a discussion with them, wrote letters to them, de-whipped them, and this expulsion is the final thing that ODM is doing.
Okay, Rosa, now let me answer you. You have finished your expulsion. You will not achieve what you want to do, because you'll be told the time and the time frame of doing all this cannot work until May you go to an election. So is that what you want to tell Kenyans? That you can do things to hide because you know the dates are not... that is what I'm saying is wrong. If you want to do the right thing, do it and let Kenyans see the achievements, the objective you had, achieve the objective. But since you're not going to achieve this objective, that is another pretense where ODM says we're going to fight corruption, yet when they were in the Grand Coalition, they were #1 in doing what is happening now. And then they have a problem where you have agencies who used to do what they want to do, the 10% they are looking for. So because you're not getting the 10%, you are here now doing this.
Our time is up. Our time is up, unfortunately.
Fred, I think this was very unfortunate. You didn't give us enough time to discuss such important issues in our papers today.
We will get another chance, Rosa Bui. Thank you so much.
But for Kavura, I hope she will be in jail tomorrow, not another day. And